Good morning, students. On day 5, I'll start a new chapter from your English literature book, Tsunami. In this chapter, you'll know about a natural calamity causing huge destruction and loss of life and property. Along the story of deep sorrow and reassuring details of courage, survival, and resilience. Students, you will realize the importance of doing whatever possible to save human and animal life, to participate in relief work, and to understand the concept of disaster management. Students, you will learn values such as courage, care, and compassion in the bitter struggle for survival and rehabilitation. You'll know about tsunami, its cause, and results. A tsunami is a series of ocean waves that send surges of water, sometimes reaching heights of over 100 feet, that is about 30.5 meters, onto land. These walls of water can cause widespread destruction when they crash ashore. Now, what causes a tsunami? These awe-inspiring waves are typically caused by large undersea earthquakes at tectonic plate boundaries. So what is tectonic plate? Plate tectonic is a scientific theory describing the large-scale motion of 7 large plates and the movements of a larger number of smaller plates of the Earth's lithosphere, since tectonic processes began on Earth between 3.3 and 3.5 billion years ago. When the ocean floor at a plate boundary rises or falls suddenly, it displaces the water above it and launches the rolling waves that will become a tsunami. Most tsunamis, about 80%, happen within the Pacific Ocean's Ring of Fire, a geologically active area where tectonic shifts make volcanoes and earthquakes common. Tsunamis may also be caused by underwater landslides or volcanic eruptions. They may even be launched, as they frequently were in Earth's ancient past, by the impact of a large meteoroid plunging into an ocean. Tsunamis race across the sea at up to 500 miles an hour, about as fast as a jet airplane. At that pace, they can cross the entire expanse of the Pacific Ocean in less than a day. And their long wavelengths mean they lose very little energy along the way. Now the introduction of the chapter. This part gives us some important and inspiring incidents. These occurred when tsunami hit some parts of India. The stories are from Andaman and Nicobar Island. In this chapter, you'll know how the people and animals behaved before, during, and after tsunami. The seas slowly rise and start to foam, bubbles and form whirlpools. Gives warning to the local people. As I told you, that tsunami can be caused by earthquakes, volcanoes, and landslides. It seems either animal possesses a sixth sense and know when the earth is going to shake, or have more accurate hearing power, because not many animals died in tsunami than people. Students, if you'll go through the book, you will find that this chapter is divided into different parts and classified according to the incidences happened. So here is the first incident about unfortunate Ignatius. The first story is about Ignatius. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. sensing an earthquake. Ignatius put the television on the ground to save it from the quake. Then all the members of the family rushed out. When the tremors stopped, they saw the sea rising. This caused them confusion. They ran, but in opposite directions. His wife was swept away. Her 2 children, along with her father and brother, were all lost. Thus, Ignatius lost his wife, 2 children, his father-in-law and his brother-in-law in the tsunami. The next story is about brave Sanjeev. Sanjeev was a policeman. He managed to save himself, his wife and his baby daughter. Then he heard the cries for help. He couldn't stop himself. These were from John's wife. John was the guest house cook. Sanjeev jumped into the water to save her. They both were swept away and drowned. Next incident is about Meghna. Fortunate Meghna. Meghna was 13 years old. She was swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. She held on to a wooden door and kept floating on it for 2 days. She was brought to the shore by a wave and saved. Now I'll tell you about the tragedy of Almas. Almas was 10 years old. The family was sleeping, but her father had woken up. He saw the water receding after the tremors. He knew it would come back with great force. He woke everyone, trying to rush to a safer place. As they ran, his father fell down. Alma's father rushed to help him. Then came a big wave and swept them both away. Her mother and aunts were washed away too. They were swept away with the tree they were holding on to. Then how was Alma saved? A log of wood. Alma saw a log of wood floating. She climbed onto it, then she fainted. She woke up in a hospital in Kamorta. Now this is another story from Thailand. It is about Tilly, intelligent Tilly. Tilly's family had come to Thailand from England to celebrate Christmas. It was December 26th. Obviously, Christmas Eve. She was standing with her family on the beach. Tilly and her mother, Penny Smith, both saw the water swelling. The beach was getting smaller and smaller every moment. They saw the sea slowly rise and start to foam. Tilly saw the sea making whirlpools. Tilly recognized that as bad signs. How? Tilly's mother was not alarmed by these signs. Tilly remembered the video that her geography teacher had shown in the class 2 weeks before. It occurred to her that these were the sure signs of tsunami. She screamed and asked her family to go off the beach. The mother did not sense anything terrible. She, however, felt that her daughter must be right. Tilly became the savior. Tilly's parents took her and her sister to the swimming pool at the hotel. Many others also left the beach with them. Then it was as if the entire sea had come after them. The family took refuge in the 3rd floor of the hotel. The building withstood the force of the tsunami. If they had stayed on the beach, they would have been dead. You know what, students? Animals do have that sense. Sensing bad vibes. Sensing that something wrong is about to happen. Some people believe that animals possesses a sixth sense. Tsunami killed 150,000 people, but only a few animals died. In Yola National Park in Sri Lanka, 60 visitors were washed away, but only 2 animals died. In the same park, people had observed 3 elephants run away from the beach an hour before the tsunami hit. A man on the coast near Gale in Sri Lanka had 2 dogs. On that fatal day of tsunami, they refused to go to the beach with their master. So the master too stayed back. Thus, the dogs had saved his life also. Now students, let's recap. Ignatius, the manager of a cooperative society, lost 2 of his children, wife and father-in-law as he could not get alarmed by the tremor. Sanjeev was a policeman. He jumped into the water to rescue his cook's wife, but they were both swept away. Both Meghna's and Alma's family were washed away. Both of them kept floating in the sea for days. Meghna floated in the sea for 2 days holding on to a wooden door. She was brought to the shore by a wave. Similarly, Almas climbed onto a log of wood and fainted. She woke up in a hospital. Both the girls were traumatized after the incident. While Meghna was seen walking on the seashore in days, Almas does not talk about the incident to anyone. Both of them were not noticed by the relief helicopters. Next, from the story of Thailand, Tilly Smith, a British schoolgirl, was able to save many lives when the tsunami struck Phuket beach in Thailand. As she had seen the sea behaving in the same way in a video in her class of a tsunami that had hit the Hawaiian Islands in 1946. She had won a number of awards. The tourist thanked Tilly and her geography lesson that had warned her. Before tsunami in India and Sri Lanka, wild and domestic animals fled to safety. Elephants ran for higher grounds. Dogs refused to go outdoors. Flamingos abandoned their low-lying breeding areas as seemed to know what was about to happen. It is believed that animals either possess a sixth sense or have more accurate hearing that helps them to hear or feel Earth's vibration. Near about 150,000 people killed in tsunami in a dozen countries, but not many animals reported dead. Here are a few words that you will come across in the chapter. First is archipelago, that is a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. Next is tremor, a slight shake, earth tremors, the earth shake during an earthquake. Next is relief helicopters. You may have seen it during the flood situation in Bihar. These helicopters bring help to people, like they bring food and necessities and drop it on your roof. Resort, a place where people go on a holiday. You might have gone or visited several resorts in your holidays during summer vacation and all. This is whirlpool, the last word, name of a company as well. But basically it means anything that revolves in water. So students, now I believe you have understood the chapter Tsunami. More importantly, I believe you have understood the ways to recognize if it is tsunami and the ways to rescue yourself from tsunami. To make the concept more clear, I am attaching a worksheet along with it. Please solve that worksheet honestly and do not wait for your exams to mug up things. Thank you.